Hey there, YouTube. All right, one Tundra Chronicle video. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I just finally got the time. So I want to Plasti Dip my chrome front end here, my chrome bumpers. So finally, I took the plunge and took the whole thing apart. It was pretty easy, but I screwed up in a couple of ways. So I want to make sure everybody knows what those things are. So number one, here it is. So here's one end. So I've taken out the fog light and the sensor. The sensor is easy to pop out, and I'll show you that in a minute. And as you come all the way across, so this is something that nobody has been able to show on YouTube. So I'm going to try and be the first one. It'll be kind of interesting to see if this actually works or not. Okay, so when you take off the bumper, there's a couple things. One, it's easy enough to take off the grill, and it's easy enough to take off these side pieces here. What I didn't know, on the inside of the front plastic valance right here are these bolts. There are little bolts right here. So of course I pop the thing off and it breaks them off. There are little bolts, I don't even know how I would get to them. So I'd have to take the whole entire bumper off really in that point, and I didn't want to do that. And I didn't know that those were there, or I would have. So that's kind of a screw up on my part. Once you get the stuff off though, you can reach in right here and you can pop out the light here and also the sensor. So you have this, you have the sensor, and you have a little, and it clips in. You have a little button here that you can just pop, and the whole thing pops out. And there's a retainer, little retainer here. So you push this off. This is what retains it. So there are no bolts or anything. And then this here just slides right back in. So it'll just sit there, and then you put that retainer back in, and the thing will pop right back in. So it's really easy to pop that out. As for these here, you've got these. So you have these little retainers right here. And so what I did was I just pop one out, the top one, and that lets it go. And then you just unplug the light right here, which is easy enough. There's just a little popper there, and it detaches. So that thing's really easy to do, and then that whole thing slides right out. So that's how I got both of those out. This is one piece here that you have to take off as well to get to the bolts on the upper piece of the front valance, or the front plastic piece of the bumper here. So this thing just comes right off. It's really easy. There's a couple of what, 6 bolts right there, and the whole thing comes right off. So that thing's easy enough. And then these pop right out. So a couple of little clips, and those things pop right out. And then you've got the bumper here. So this is the bumper that I have for it. These are the little clip bolts that I broke. See? So anybody who wants to do this project, just be aware that those things are there on the inside, and they would go on this here, on these edges. So right in here, and you can see where I've popped them off. So you can call me a dumbass. I didn't know that they were there. It's one of those things. You live and you learn, right? I don't think it'll be a big deal. So, I mean, because you have another bolts on the bottom and on the top, and the whole thing comes back together. And, I mean, I've been kind of wanting to buy a new one anyways that doesn't have any holes in the front. So, or even a new bumper altogether. So, I kind of don't care anyways. It's just one of those things. Anyways, so those come off. You just take off the grill. I took out the fog lights here and those sensors, and then I just covered up the truck. I just this is all I'm going to do to mask it off. I don't think I really have to mask anything off really that much. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I don't care if it gets behind over here or up in the back here a little bit. It'll just be a little bit overspray, but no big deal, because once you put everything back on, it covers it anyways. But that's what you do. So that's how you take out the sensor and the fog light on each side. And just so you know, nobody else has done this. So there are these bolts right here. And that, you know, if you're not paying attention, or if you didn't know that they were there, I suppose now that I know, I could have kind of moved them forward or out, or I'm not really sure. It's hard to say. If you take the whole bumper off, then you could get it off and you could do it well and not break those things off. But you know what? Should happen. So anyways, this helps you. I hope so. I'll show you what happens once I've Plasti dipped them when I'm done.